What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Humboy checking in with you. Want to do this video today about the Miami Dolphins preseason game against the Chicago Bears. And I want to touch on the Tua versus Justin Fields. I guess you can call it saga or debate or whatever you want to call it. The NFL Network and ESPN is very misleading in how they present information to make it seem like Tua was outplayed by Justin Fields, he was the 20th overall selection by the Chicago Bears. And in Saturday's preseason game against the Dolphins, he went 14-20, 142 yards and a touchdown. However, he played against their first team defense and got shut out. So this narrative that he just balled out on the Dolphins is a total lie. He actually just put those numbers up against the second, mainly really the third string defense is really where he got his numbers from. If you watched the game, you saw how timid he was, how they confused him with coverages, how they did simple little packages, and it really confused him. He threw 2 completions against the first team defense. As a matter of fact, I think one of them nearly got picked. So he did terrible, which was expected against the Dolphins' elite defense. Tua, however, was 8 of 11 for 99 yards, and he did throw an interception from a bullet pass he tried to squeeze into Hollins, who had Tua threw it earlier, it would have been a touchdown, but he waited a little late to release it. And once he did it, the safety came over and picked it off in the end zone. Fine with that. No big deal. It's an interception. People acting like it's in the world or like it's a postseason game and they lost. You know, they eliminated and went home or something. No. Preseason. Chill out. But the whole entire narrative that Justin Fields outplayed him is total bullshit. The kid, like I said, he balled out against third string team defense. If that's what you call outplaying Tua, then I really don't know what to tell you guys at this point. I mean, Tua did what he did, the damage he did against the first team defense. With no wide receiving core, his offensive line was looking like shit most of the game. As a matter of fact, that first quarter, they got blown up a few times. They were missing assignments. 3 people blocking 1 person for no reason. People didn't know, I guess, where the pressure was coming from. And Tua was forced to step in the pocket, step around the pocket, step side to side into the pocket and make throws, dude. He had one possession where he stepped up to the left, stepped up to the right, and then finally made a check down to Malcolm Brown, who, for some reason, he caught the ball, started running, came to a complete stop, and he got tackled when he could have got a first down. Didn't understand that either. But nonetheless, Tua also he also completed a 50-yard bomb to Mike Gronkowski, who caught it. I think Tua threw it from maybe his 40 or his 30, and Gronkowski caught it on the opposite 30 or the opposite 20-yard line and ran another 10 yards before it was tackled, which made it a 50-yard completion. And that pass was on time. It was slightly behind Gronkowski because he did turn to get it, because Tua was a little hesitant at first, but he threw it to where Gronkowski was going to end up being. He didn't throw it to where he didn't throw it to where he can have to turn and lose momentum. He threw it exactly where he would be at, and that's how he made the completion. Outside of that, Tua looked very in control Saturday. He looked like he was in total command of the offense. His offensive line, though, they really, really got to work on their blocking schemes and run blocking, because several times the run game basically got pancaked. There was a few, especially on the goal line. They had 3 opportunities in the goal line, didn't score nothing but field goals. Come on, man. Like, at some point, you can't blame Tua for everything. If your offensive line ain't open the holes for your running back. But there was a few series where, especially one with Myles Gaskins, he had 2 different lanes to run through, and for some reason he wanted to dance instead of running through those lanes and getting, more yards. So So this is stuff on film that the coaches need to highlight and be like, look, either you get through this hole and you get these yards, or somebody else gonna do that for you. Because we're not here to watch you dance and then pick what side you want to go on. Because once the offensive line open up a hole, that hole closes as fast as it opens. So this ain't college where you got all day to run through a hole and select where you want to run at. No. And you guys are putting more and more attention on Tua for what he did in terms of production. But in one quarter, put him nearly 100 yards. And all he had was 2 drives. Actually he had 3 drives. And each one of those 3 drives, they got to the goal line. They just didn't score a touchdown. Some of that couldn't be on Tua, yes, because, I feel like he should have punched one of those in. But, hey, it happens. It's football. But they got field goals out of it. And then Grissett came in and threw a 27-yard pass to Ahmed, or whatever his name is, and he scored. But other than that, Tua had a very solid day Saturday. I don't know why I keep saying yesterday. He had a very solid day Saturday, because he could have been on pace to throw for over 300 yards in that game against the first team defense with none of his actual starters in the game. I want to say Waddle played, but I don't think he even made a catch. I think they just wanted him to get adjusted to the speed of the game, but he didn't even attempt to catch. Now this weekend, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have things just for Waddle where he can show how fast he really is, which means that Tua probably gonna throw maybe 2 touchdowns this next preseason game, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna let him play 2 quarters. And if 2 quarters he put up, realistically 150, 200 yards, watch how people flock. Oh, okay. Well, Tua can ball. Well, no shit. I know he can ball. But this narrative or notion that Fields outplayed him, no, he didn't. I'm sorry, he didn't. And I wish they stopped making it to where when a quarterback goes against Tua, it's to deflate Tua and to boost up the other quarterback. They all have different traits and skills. But Tua's greatest skill is his accuracy, which a lot of quarterbacks don't have it in the league. They don't have it. And people act like Tua just can't throw the ball deep or do this or do that. Yes, I gotta stop saying yesterday. Saturday, he showed exactly why the offseason, the training camps, and stuff like that, he was out there balling. He looked so much more comfortable in that pocket than because his rookie year, he was ready to, he would escape a little bit and he'd be ready to take out running, or he would not hold the ball and release it at a certain point. Saturday, he did exactly that. He made great throws inside the pocket. He did not scramble outside the pocket to make throws. He stayed in that pocket and looked down the pressure that was coming. He still made those completed passes. And that's what everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see how he handled the adversity of that first team defense, which the Chicago Bears defensive front is no joke. They're no joke. And he maintained and managed that pressure very well. So to me, he outplayed Fields, which is what he's supposed to do. If he threw for 40 yards or maybe 25 yards on 1 of 7 or 3 of 9 or some shit like that, then yeah, it could be a bash fest to a degree, but it's still preseason. It's not the regular season where he gets to play 4 quarters. And speaking of that, all these people that keep talking about how many games the 2 of them get benched in for Jacoby Brissett, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. They're going to let Tua make the adjustments necessary to win those games. Even when he's struggling, he's going to find a way to win those games. But one thing that I can say about Tua that I've seen over his entire collegiate and his 1 year pro, he doesn't put you out of reach in games. So you're not going to be down by, 40, 50 points with him at quarterback. Now people may say, oh, but what about the Buffalo Bills game? If you watched that game last year, in the second quarter, what happened? Their defense gave up 28 straight points. How is that Tua's fault? I just want to know. If my defense gave up 28 straight points in one quarter, and I had the ball longer. I'm just not able to punch it in because of my lackluster offense around me. And then when I do get some points on the board, they all of a sudden give up another touchdown. It was one drive where Josh Allen literally tore up with that defense. He completed 4 passes, and then that was a touchdown on the last pass. 4 passes later, they was in his zone already. But people want to sit there and crucify Tua for that game. In the second half, Tua was like, fuck it, I'm going to just sling it. He threw 361 yards. That's a dead giveaway in terms of stats. It don't mean shit because they still got blown up by 30. But the fact that he continued to fight throughout that game shows you his mindset. He wants to win. But he's not about taking the credit or passing out blame when they do lose. He'll take it upon himself to say it's my fault. Now in the preseason, he don't have to say that because people are trying to make rosters and spots and stuff, so it's not all on him. It's more like a warm-up to the regular season. That's all it is. But I wish they quit with this narrative to tear one person down in order to build the other. If Justin Fields plays his rookie year, then they're going to critique him according to what he puts up in terms of numbers, game in and game out. That has nothing to do with what is foreseen from Saturday. They made it seem like he was just out there balling his ass off against the first team defense. Now, if he put up 140-something yards against the first team Miami defense, then you have a legit argument to make. You can say, okay, with Justin Fields, he seems like the real deal. But no, none of them rookies balled out like that. They didn't ball out like that. Hell, even Trevor Lawrence struggled yesterday. Or Saturday. He struggled. Which I knew he would, because the speed of the NFL is a lot different than in college. And in college, you didn't see a lot of exotic blitzes. He had a fumble and a sack. And that's the number 1 overall pick. And they humbled him. So, it happens. But people should stop this, bashing Tua objectivity thing, because it's not cool. The kid does nothing but work hard and keep his head down. He says all the right things on camera, and then he empowers his teammates. So what's the point in putting up a stat like that about what he did versus what Justin Fields did? Then you don't even solidify the fact that what Justin Fields did was against third string defense. You just say, oh, he put up 142 yards on a touchdown. And he had a rushing touchdown, but that was against the third string defense as well. The first string shut him down, which is what they're supposed to do. And Tua did what he did in 1 quarter against a ferocious Bears defense. And this week that's coming, he's about to face a sorry-ass Atlanta first-string defense. So you can imagine what he's going to do to them if they allow his other receivers to play. You can imagine what's going to happen to Atlanta. But this whole narrative has to stop. Because all you're doing is saying that, Tua doesn't belong and we knew it and blah, blah, blah. People were literally about to jump off the damn cliff Saturday after Miami lost that game. And they lost by 7. And Tua was already out after the first quarter. He didn't play anymore. They let Jacoby Brissett play, and they let, I think, the other backup play. So Tua, they were done after the first quarter. He didn't come back out there. But people want to make it all about him. And I'm just basically putting out fires left and right on Facebook by people that come after him and say, oh, well, he threw an interception in a preseason game, bro. In a preseason game. Now I see a week 1 he come out there, throw 3-4 picks, then okay, yeah, that's going to be an alarming issue. But I don't see Tua committing a lot of turnovers week 1. I don't see him committing any. I really think he'll be ready for New England. And he's probably going to put up 300 yards plus. Because he's going to want to have that momentum going into the Buffalo game. Now, that Buffalo game, he got to ball out. I'm going to need Tua against the Bills in week 2 to at least put up 400 yards plus and score at least 35 points. If he can do that, he's going to shut a whole lot of people up, especially on social media. But, they'll find, he completed 70% of his passes, and he missed a 3rd and 2 play. Okay, but he threw 400 plus yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, with a passer rating of 140. But you want to talk about a 3rd and 2 play? I'm confused here. Help me help you, or actually help help me understand what you're trying to get across to me about what he did. But anyway, guys, enough of the soliloquy. Just figured I'd come on here and talk about what I had saw and my overall thoughts on his performance. Like I said, I think he did good. I think he got some stuff to work on, no doubt. But with him being the film junkie and the way he prepares himself, he's gonna be ready for the Falcons, and then he's gonna be ready week 3, and then we're gonna just roll on to the date with Cam Newton and the Patriots week 1 in Gillette Stadium. They'll be ready for them because they'll have all their boys back. But be sure, guys, to like, comment, subscribe. Please, at least like and comment, please. I enjoy the content. I enjoy, reading the messages. But that's it for me, guys. Peace.